I got my parents living with me currently, kind of looking after them. And there's been moments of frustration as I integrated them having around. But as I felt that frustration, it allowed me to communicate, set some boundaries, put some ground rules, write some stuff down. Yet I was still in this heightened state where I wasn't overcome by it. I actually acted accordingly, set boundaries, write stuff down, create more harmony in the space for everyone. So that was a beautiful description of how you can be in the harmonic state and experience all these emotions, because I think a lot of people are, including me, I was conditioned through the work of David Hawkins that guilt and shame and frustration and anger are lower emotions. But why do we then have capacity to feel these things if they are lower in any way, shape, or form? I think it's a lot of manipulation.
It's so manipulation and ignorance and stupidity, because you like that would be like, well, my left hand is lower than my right hand, so let me just use my right hand. Like, no, I'm using the totality of everything in me. I'm using my feminine side. I'm using my masculine side. I'm using my height. I'm using this and that. And we say lower is bad, like if it's bad. If you just had highs in a song, it'd be so ear retching and screeching, like, oh, turn it off. But the lows bring the beats. They bring the it's that bass drum that like keeps it up. Tubas and cellos and stuff like that, 808s and like subwoofers. Is like we demonize a wave pattern, which is so moronic, because we're trying to be spiritual. It's people who are like wanting to be something, but whenever you stop wanting to be something and be everything, you can utilize everything. Like guilt, shame, fear, all this stuff, like it's nothing to deter from, in a sense, but you can use it as fire. When you understand what fear is, or like anger, you can kamehameha that stuff. You can like bring it in and like use it as a furnace to drive you. Like that's how I even got here. So like, dude, okay, real quick, I'll share a story real quick. I remember that I was working my ass off, and I was working like 14-hour days, and I started making money and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, I'm like working way too hard, dude. Like I was working 7 days a week. There was a time I didn't take a day off for 3 months. And that's how hard I was. That's how hard I was willing to work. And I was making, great money and everything else. But I remember one day I'm like, I'm going to come up with a plan to retire by the age I'm, whatever. So I was thinking, okay, if I make this much money and blah, 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 blah. And I remember one day I told my pastor's mom this. I'm like, man, I'm going to find a way to where I don't have to work as much, but I can make, tens of thousands of dollars every month or whatever. And she looked at me and she's belted out a laugh. She's like, ha! And I was like the disbelief towards me. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right, cool. Yeah, okay, I'll show you. I think like 8 months later, I retired. I made enough. I got in the mental cognitive space to like, okay, if I just keep this, I can cruise, I can ride, I can retire. So like I used her, whatever you want to say, her doubt, her disbelief to be a fire inside, not in pride to try to prove her wrong, but I'm going to use that for myself to go in the direction I want to, because it's already here. It's already happened. It's already the past, right? I can't change the past. The past has happened, but man, I can go back and I can use that stuff as fire and a flame to burn inside of me. But when people are repressive of their past, no, guilt, shame, fear, can't do that, they're only using like half the energy. I eat everything. I eat fear. I eat drama, I eat anger, I eat rage, I eat bliss, I eat joy, I eat good, everything. I consume it all, and I use that to drive the words that I'm saying. I use black, I use white, I use purple, I use green. There's no evil color, there's no sin, there is no lust, there is no fear. It's just energy. And when we take out the dogmatic religious stipulates of what we call these things, we can see it's just energy, and then we can start optimizing and utilizing, and that's when we become efficient. So if anybody says like, oh, that's a low vibration, tell them you're stupid. Low vibrations are like, because I'm a man, I have a low vibration. Because you're a man, you have a low vibration. Sasha or Lay, the girls, they have a high vibration because they speak higher. We're guys, so we speak lower. What up, dog? Okay, what am I evil because I speak low? Because I have a deep. Because all people who have a deep voice are evil or dumb or stupid. No, it's so silly. But these people want something because when a person doesn't know themselves, they'll slap labels on things externally and say that's this to try to make themselves validate it. But when you understand none of this crap out here matters, you can consume all the energy and then your life expresses it. Every one of those spiritual people who said low vibration, I bet they didn't look like this. I bet they didn't heal their back. I bet they didn't heal their neck. I bet they didn't heal their disc. I bet their eyes are turned in or weak or like, ugh. So whenever a person truly sees what it is, like you don't even got to say that stuff or demonize the stuff. You can take it and then your life just screams it. That's why we're here. Our life is undeniable.
So undeniable, Mikey. So undeniable. I mean, I can go so many different directions, but in terms of the manipulation, it's all about, you know, how I see it. You know, when you say you eat anger, you eat guilt, you basically eat everything, because it's all available for us for interpretation. And if you can interpret these things outside of good and bad and just see it that this is energy, I can take it, I can transmute it, and I can create with it. Am I hearing that correctly?
Exactly. When you stop being afraid of an emotion, you start being the master over it, you make that bitch your slave. Yeah. And you consume it and you eat it. And then it's like it's fuel for your fire. And because you trust yourself and you haven't been lying to yourself, you know that you can maintain that emotion without it burning and consuming you. But people don't trust themselves because they've been lying to themselves and they know that they're a liar. So when you stop being a liar, when you stop lying to yourself, when you start keeping your promises, your commitments, doing what you say you'll do, or blah, 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 whatever, you start gaining self-trust. When you trust yourself, now when you touch the fire of anger, you know you won't let it get out of control, because you've come to the point to where you know yourself so well, and you've been so honest and transparent and clear to where like that anger is only going to go where I pointed it, nowhere else.